How many are there, Mansi? Mansi,
Yes, miss.
how many are there? Only three, na? Yourself,
Yes. No,
Karthik.
four.
Four are there. Okay. We'll wait for 5 more minutes and then I will start. Okay.
Okay, miss.
Yeah. जल्दी आ. Come fast. Okay, Mansi, shall I start? Mansi,
Yes,
am I audible?
yes, miss.
Okay. So last lecture we have seen this 100 grams of black-eyed beans, that is choli, put into squares. One was 15 centimeter and one was 30 centimeter. And we saw that when the grains were scattered in different places in both the thing, both the boxes, the result was. So distribution of population. So when the grains of choli were scattered over two areas of different size, the larger area, the distribution appears sparse, whereas in the smaller area, you can see it is very congested. Similarly, we can understand the distribution of population in the region. Some region are mountainous while others are flat plain. Conditions may vary. Some regions are endowed with natural resources while others have limited resource. These conditions affect the distribution of population. Mansi, how many are there today present? Mansi?
5.
5 are there, because again today I am not on this, I cannot see the attendance. Nidhi is not there today. Nidhi?
No, miss, she is absent.
Okay. So then only you will be there to answer. Others don't answer only. In areas with abundant resources, naturally the population is more. So where the resources are more, their population is more. Now what are the resources we can call? Maybe the natural resource like air, water supply, a transportation, then market, isn't it? So those are the resources. Houses, all facilities. In areas there is dense population. In areas with scarce resource, unfavorable climate, undulating terrain, the population distribution is sparse. म्हणजे जिथे रिसोर्सेस कमी असतील किंवा डोंगरा भाग असतील, डोंगरचे भाग असतील, तिथे पॉप्युलेशन आपण बघू शकतो लोकसंख्या कमी असतात. म्हणजे जिथे त्यांना जास्त हे असेल, अवेलेबिलिटी असेल सगळं रिसोर्सेसची, तिथे पॉप्युलेशन जास्त असतात. मतलब वहाँ पर पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा होता है. जैसे मार्केट प्लेस नज़दीक है, अच्छे बिल्डिंग्स है, हॉस्पिटल्स है, स्कूल्स है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन फैसिलिटीज है. So in those places we'll have, like we know Mumbai, we know Kolkata, we know Pune. These are all city areas. Here everything is available. And therefore the population is more in these places. A given one. Factors affecting population distribution. Now there are physical factors. म्हणजे जे घटक आहे, just a minute. लोकसंख्येसाठी जी घटक आहेत, ते घटक जिथे जास्त असेल, कोणकोणती घटक आपल्याला लागतील ते इथे दिलेले आहेत. 1 minute. The first one is physical factors, that is प्राकृतिक घटक ज्याला म्हणतो. लोकेशन म्हणजे स्थान, रिलीफ म्हणजे प्राकृतिक रचना, क्लायमेट हवामान, सॉइल माती, मृदा ज्याला मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो, हिंदी में भी मृदाई बोलते, आणि मिनरल रिसोर्सेस खनिज संपत्ती, खनिज पदार्थ. म्हणजे हा फिजिकल फॅक्टर्स जे आहे, जिथे जे जास्त असेल तिथे आपल्याला पॉप्युलेशन जास्त मिळेल. लोकेशन महत्वाची, लोकेशन स्थान. As I told you, cities like Mumbai, Pune and all. Then all the physical factors, relief we can call. That is, it should be a plain area, marketplace, whatever. Then climate, then soil and resources. Second one is economic factor. म्हणजे आर्थिक घटक ज्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण म्हणतो. या हिंदी में भी हम आर्थिक घटक ही बोलेंगे. शेती, एग्रीकल्चर, देन इंडस्ट्री म्हणजे कारखाने, अर्बनायझेशन नागरीकरण, ट्रान्सपोर्ट वाहतूक मराठीमध्ये वाहतूक, आणि मार्केट म्हणजे बाजारपेठ. तो एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री, अर्बनाइजेशन, ट्रांसपोर्ट फैसिलिटीज, यातायात के साधन जिसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं, मार्केट, बाजार, ये सारी चीजें जो है आर्थिक घटक में आता है. हे सगळं आर्थिक घटकात येतात. आणि ही फॅक्टर्स पण एक महत्वाची घटक असते पॉप्युलेशनसाठी. देन पॉलिटिकल फॅक्टर्स म्हणजे राजकीय घटक ज्याला म्हणतो आपण. वॉर, पॉलिटिकल इन्स्टेबिलिटी, गव्हर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज, एखादा युद्ध असेल कुठे, किंवा राजकीय अस्थिरता आणि राजकीय धोरण. In some places political instability is there. For example, we can see some of the countries like Iraq, Syria, at present Armenia, Azerbaijan. There lot of wars are going on. So again that affects the population की वहां पर अगर युद्ध हो रहा है, आता तिथे युद्ध जर होत असेल मग लोक तिथून पलायन करतात, धावतात. आता आपण 2-3 महिन्यापूर्वीच बघितलं अफगाणिस्तान. वी सॉ अफगाणिस्तान इन द न्यूज. So political instability is there. So people from there started running. They came out of Afghanistan. People don't want to live because of instability. Sometimes the government policies also hamper the population. Government policies may be such, राजकीय धोरण जे असतात, शासकीय धोरण ज्याला म्हणतो आपण, सरकारची धोरण, तिथे पण काही ठिकाणी लोक पलायन करतात. And then comes social factors, सामाजिक घटक, very important factor of population distribution. Race, religion, language, custom and tradition. वंश परंपरा, रिलिजन म्हणजे धर्म, लँग्वेज म्हणजे भाषा, एंड कस्टम एंड ट्रेडिशन म्हणजे रूढ़ी परंपरा ज्याला म्हणतो आपण. हिंदी में भी रूढ़ी परंपरा ही कहते हैं. लैंग्वेज को भाषा बोलते हैं, रिलीजन है धर्म बोलते हैं, और रेस यानी वंश. तो जहाँ पर राजा के पहले जमाने में राजा हुआ करता था, आधी राजा वगैरे असायची, त्यांची वंश परंपरा असायची. मग एखाद्या धर्माचे पण असतात, काही ठिकाणी वेगवेगळे धर्माचे लोक असतात, ते एक आहे. लँग्वेज भाषा पण एक महत्वाची असते. आपण बघतो आपल्या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये मराठी भाषा बोलणारे जास्त, तर गुजरातमध्ये गुजराती असेल किंवा कर्नाटकमध्ये कन्नड असेल, तो एक फॅक्टर असतो. पण महाराष्ट्रामध्ये असं नाही. आता आपल्या भारतात सगळे लोक सगळीकडे राहतात. मराठी लोक दुसऱ्या राज्यात राहतात, दुसऱ्या राज्याची लोक आपल्याकडे असतात. सो दॅट इज अनदर फॅक्टर. अँड देन कस्टम अँड ट्रेडिशन म्हणजे वंश परंपरा, जे रूढी परंपरा आहेत, सगळं आपण आपल्याप्रमाणे पाळतो. मतलब जो हमारी ट्रेडिशंस है, जो हमारे परंपरा है, जैसे सारे धर्मों के हम ये करते हैं, हमारे कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज़ है, दिवाली है, दशहरा है, तो हम अपने मनाते हैं, तो दूसरे अपने ईद मनाते होंगे. क्रिश्चियंस अपने क्रिसमस मनाते हैं, पारसीज है वो अपने मनाते हैं. आज गुरु नानक जयंती है, सिखों का पर्व है, तो दे आर सेलिब्रेटिंग दैट. सो एवरीवन फॉलोज देयर ओन कस्टम्स एंड ट्रेडिशंस, and that makes a country. Again, that is their uh, effect that affects the population distribution. Here one example is given. Try this. Draw a 2 into 2 square meter a box. In that square, ask 2 students to stand and slowly increase the number of students and ask the following. In the space provided, can you move around easily? And second, can more students be accommodated in this? You can see the activity done in your textbook. The students carrying out this activity, a small square, and if only 2 students had been there, then there will be more space. But since you can count how many heads are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 students are seen in that box. So if 13 students are there, It is impossible to move. When the answer to the above questions are negative, then ask all the students to write their observation about the experiment and initiate a discussion on population density. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड डेन्सिटी ऑफ पॉप्युलेशन. याला पण घनता म्हणतो. मराठीमध्ये पण घनता म्हणतात आणि हिंदी में भी घनता कहते, घनत्व. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड डेन्सिटी. डेन्सिटी मीन्स एका ठिकाणी जास्त असलेली लोक. The ratio of the population of a country to its area is called population density. While discussing population density, population distribution, density of population is also considered. It is calculated population of a region divided by area of a region. So we calculate the density of population. आपण ते मोजमाप कसं करतो डेन्सिटी घनता. तर त्या प्रदेशाची जनसंख्या लोकसंख्या भागिले त्या प्रदेशाची क्षेत्रफल, यानी उस प्रदेश की जनसंख्या डिवाइडेड बाय एरिया, म्हणजे उस प्रदेश का क्षेत्रफल. So that way we calculate the density. Now here one table is given. Uttar Pradesh population is this and density area is 2,40,926 square kilometer. So you have to divide this and find out the density. Maharashtra population is 11 crore 23 lakh 74,333 and area is 3,07,713. Tamil Nadu 7 crore 26 lakhs 26,809. Area is 1 lakh 30,058. Rajasthan 68 lakhs 54,837 and area is 3 lakh 42,239. You can just see when we compare this, Rajasthan's area is more. Manipur 27 lakh 21,756, whereas area is only 22,337, and Goa 14 lakh 58,545 and area is 3,702 square kilometer. Now you can just divide and calculate and find out that how many people live in 1 square kilometer area. So density of the population is not same everywhere. In some regions the area is small but population is large. For example, you can see given Kerala. In other regions the area is large but population is small. Therefore the density of population is low. For example, Rajasthan. So Rajasthan area is more, 3,42,239 square kilometer, whereas population is only 68 lakh. Whereas you can see Uttar Pradesh with 2,40,926 square kilometer area and the population is 19 crore 98 lakhs 12,341, approximate 20 crores of people. So we can just imagine the density of population is not everywhere, is not equal everywhere. For example, given, think of 20 people in a neighborhood and divide them into following categories: young, adult, old, educated, uneducated, female, male, student, laborer, merchant, industrialist, and unemployed. You can take your area. I'm sorry. So 20 people if you take of your neighborhood and divide them into following categories. From the above classification, what are the salient features of your neighborhood? Can such a classification be done for the country? Correlate these categories with qualities of population and discuss the problem which you faced while doing this population classification. म्हणजे हा एक आपल्याला उपक्रम दिलेला आहे. म्हणजे तुमच्या परिसरातील 20 व्यक्ती आठवा किंवा यू कॅन टेक अ नेबरहूड आणि तिथे वर्गवारी करा, मीन्स क्लासिफाय करा. यंग किती आहे, ॲडल्ट किती आहे, ओल्ड किती आहेत, वयोवृद्ध, एज्युकेटेड किती आहेत, साक्षर, निरक्षर किती, स्त्री किती, पुरुष किती, स्टुडंट्स किती आहे, मर्चंट्स किती आहे म्हणजे व्यापारी ज्याला म्हणतो, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट किती आहे, औद्योगिक, दॅन अनएम्प्लॉयड किती आहे, बेरोजगार किती आहे, गृहिणी किती आहेत, म्हणजे दिस यू कॅन क्लासिफाय. मग तुम्हाला कळेल तुमची नेबरहूडमध्ये 20 व्यक्तींमध्ये किती कोण जास्त आहेत. तर त्या प्रकारे आपण आपल्या देशाची करू शकतो का, वी कॅन वी डू फॉर द कंट्री. क्वालिटीज त्यांची बघायची आपण, म्हणजे आपल्याकडे वर्गीकरण करताना क्लासिफिकेशन करताना आपण हे करू शकतो की वयोवृद्ध कमी आहेत पण एज्युकेटेड जास्त आहेत, पुरुष आणि स्त्रिया एज्युकेटेड आहेत, हाऊसवाईफ कमी आहे, एम्प्लॉयड जास्त आहेत, ऑल आर एम्प्लॉयड, इवन द both male and female, whether father and mother both are working. एज्युकेटेड खूप कमी असतील, दुकानदार 4-5च असतील एखाद्या वेळेस किंवा 2च असतील दुकानदार. सो इन दिस वे यू कॅन क्लासिफाय. And then what problem you faced while doing this classification? Now here we took only 20 people, so it was very easy for us. But when we take the things for the entire country, then it is very, very difficult. So this is called structure of population. Structure of population means जनसंख्या किंवा लोकसंख्येची रचना. In Marathi it is called लोकसंख्येची रचना. हिंदी में कहते हैं जनसंख्या रचना, संरचना, and English it is called structure of population. Population can be subdivided into various categories by studying the correlation between the subdivisions and understanding of the structure and quality of population is possible. just a minute. I'll have some more. Okay. कुछ नहीं हुआ. I'll have some water. So some groups are made. Male, female, adolescent, illiterate, children, unemployed, infant, literate, rural, working, urban, female, old, young, dependent, and adult. Classify the above groups into the categories below: sex, age, rural, urban, literacy, productive, all this. Now, when we classify in this way, sex means male and female, age, young, old, adult, whatever, rural or urban, whether they are staying in a village or they are staying in city, literacy, whether educated or uneducated, and productive population means working. So working in the sense they can be working in a factory, they may be working in an office or in field, that is maybe an farmer, anything. So that is called productive population. Whether he is a farmer, whether he is working in your factory, whether he is working in an office, anywhere. So, in this way, we can call them as productive population. Population can be subdivided as per the groups. These subgroups and the relationship with one another is studied in the structure of the population. So, in this way, we see that the population is divided and the relationship is found out with one another. Now, what can be the relationship? About their age, about their uh, working, non working, whether they are male or female, whether they live in village or in cities, whether they are literate or illiterate, साक्षर की निरक्षर आहे, गावाला राहतात की शहरामध्ये, पुरुष आहे की स्त्री आहे, वय, young, old, then whether they are working, non working, म्हणजे असा तो रिलेशन त्यांच्यामध्ये पारस्परिक संबंध ज्याला म्हणतो आपण ते संबंध घेतले जातात. So while studying all this, we can find out all this. I think up to here, up to everyone is clear. Any doubt? Mansi? Mansi is there. Parth is there. Karthik is there. Anybody else? Mansi, can you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Who else is there? Name is not mentioned. Only three names are there. Who is Om? Reply at least with the message. One else, another else, somebody is there, I don't know. Three have replied. Okay. I will put some question based on this. And I know only Mansi will answer, nobody else. Because Mansi,
Yes,
what are the physical factors that affect population distribution?
they are location, relief, climate, soil, mineral resources.
Anybody else want to answer? Parth, will you answer? No. Karthik, it is given on the in your screen. You have to look and say. Hariom is there. Hariom. Not there. Okay. Next. Second question. Mansi, say the economy factors.
They are agriculture, industry, urbanization, transport, and markets.
Okay. Political.
Wars, political instability, government policies.
Okay. Social.
Race, religion, language, custom, and traditions.
Okay. Mansi, what do you understand by location? What is location? What is location? Where do you stay, Mansi? Where do you stay? कुठे राहते?
Kalwa.
Kalwa. So that is a location, place.
Okay.
Understood? Location means place, than. Okay. What is climate? Yesterday it was raining
Yes.
and today it was cloudy.
Yes.
So that is climate, isn't it? Now what is relief? You stay in Kalwa. In front of you there is a mountain, a small hill. बोगदा आहेत ना समोर कळव्याला.
Yes.
एक छोटीशी डोंगर आहे ना.
Yes.
मग तू फक्त पुस्तक वाचूनच हे करते. तुझ्या समोर एवढं फॅक्टर्स आहे ना. लोकेशन आहे, रिलीफ आहे. Some small hill is there in front of where you stay in Kalwa. Yesterday it was raining. Today the climate it was cloudy. Isn't it? So these are the physical factors which affect population. Now where you stay, wherever you are staying, near your where you stay, buildings are there or chawls are there?
Buildings are there.
Buildings are there. That means population is dense, more population.
Yes, miss.
Yeah. Then comes economic factor. Now since we stay in a city, we don't see agriculture, but industries are there.
Yes.
Urbanization is there because it is a city. What is
Yes.
urban? शहरीकरण म्हणजे जिथे तू राहते तिथे जवळजवळ सगळं बिल्डिंग्सच आहेत. छोटे मोठे चार्ल्स थोडीशी असणार आहे. Market is nearby.
Yes, miss.
Everything is available in the market.
Yes.
You have good transport facility. ट्रेन जवळ आहे. एखाद्या वेळेस बस रूट आहे, रोड्स आहे, ऑटो रिक्षा हे सगळे अवेलेबल आहे.
Yes, miss.
Means where you are staying, the economic factors are affecting that. Except
Yes.
agriculture, everything is there.
Yes, miss.
Now political factors, we don't have political factors over here because we don't have wars or political instability. All these things is not there. We have social factors. Society is there. So you know your religion, whatever your religion is. You know what language you are speaking at home. Maybe Marathi, maybe Hindi, whatever. And the customs and traditions that you are following. तुमच्या घरी जे तुम्ही काय कस्टम ट्रेडिशन फॉलो करत असाल. Isn't it? आणि दुसरी गोष्ट म्हणजे तुमच्या एरियामध्ये पण जे असतील ते लोक पण सेम कस्टम ट्रेडिशन्स फॉलो करत असतील. एम आय राईट? समजा
Yes.
दिवाळी असेल, दशेरा असेल, दसरा असेल, दिवाळी असेल किंवा इथं होळी असतो, रक्षाबंधन आहेत. म्हणजे वी आर फॉलोइंग ऑल दिस. इफ आय टॉक अबाउट आवर, वी आर फॉलोइंग दिस. But there may be other people also in your colony, in your building. There may be some other religion people. So they may be following their own customs and tradition. So all these are the factors with which affect our population distribution. Now as you spoke about you are staying in Kalwa, so all these factors are available except the political factors. Am I right, Mansi?
Yes, miss.
So have you understood factors affecting political distribution, population distribution?
Yes, miss.
Because you are the only one who give the answer. Now next question. What is density of population?
Can I, Mansi?
Yes, only you will give the answer. Nobody else is there to answer.
The ratio of the population of a country to its area is density.
Is population density. What is the formula to calculate population density?
Density of population is equal to population of a religion upon area of a religion.
Religion? See the word?
Sorry, region.
Region. Region म्हणजे प्रदेश. Okay. Now, if you see that table, a table is given about census 2011. Which state has more area in square kilometer?
Rajasthan.
What is the area given?
3,42,239.
39. And which state has the least area? Huh?
Goa.
Goa. What is the area mentioned over in that chart?
3,702.
3,700. What is the population of Goa?
14 lakhs 58,545.
45. Now, look at the table. Look at the table and tell me which state has highest population and what is the population? Highest population. Yes, Mansi.
Uttar Pradesh.
Somebody is there telling you the answer, or you are only
No,
there? You are only there. Okay. Uttar Pradesh has the highest population. Now, when you compare with the population of Uttar Pradesh and the area is 2,40,296. That means you think the density of population will be more in Uttar Pradesh, isn't it?
yes.
Whereas as compared to Rajasthan population is less and area is more. So Rajasthan will have less density of population. Now, what is the reason of Rajasthan having less density of population? Even though area-wise Rajasthan is a large state, population is less. Why? Any idea, Mansi? Have you read about Rajasthan?
No.
Okay. You don't know anything about Rajasthan. Rajasthan is the desert area of our country. The Thar Desert, it lies in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is a desert area. So water is less. Clear? As water is not available, so people, because what are the things we require for living? Water is the essential part. बिना पानी के हम जी नहीं सकते. We cannot stay without water. 2 दिन हम बिना खाना खाए रह लेंगे, but we cannot stay without water. Since Rajasthan is a desert area, so water is not available. First. Secondly, with a lot of desert, with lot of sand, nothing grows over there. So agriculture means all the factors which we require for population, like climate, soil, resources, industry, agriculture, transport, all these things are not available, and hence Rajasthan has less density of population. Okay. Now coming to structure. What categories do we consider while taking into consideration the structure of population? Categories or groups.
Uh, they are male,
Hmm? And,
adolescent,
huh?
illiterate,
Correct.
children,
Huh?
unemployed, infants,
Hmm.
literate,
Huh?
rural,
Hmm.
working working population, urban, female, go old, young, dependent, polu-
Adult.
adult,
Hmm.
and dependent population.
Yes. So all these categories we consider while taking structure of population into consideration. So in the various groups we divide them, and these subgroups and the relationship with one another is studied for the structure of population. Now next is very important, sex ratio. The sex ratio means male and female. So as per gender, population can be divided into male and female. This is natural division which can be easily understood. In a population, when both the genders are around the same number, it indicates a balanced population. In the population studies, the ratio of men and women is very, very important. So it is calculated total number of female divided by total number of males into 1000. So per 1000 male, the number of female is considered as sex ratio. म्हणजे जेवढे पुरुष असतील त्याच्यापैकी जेवढ्या स्त्रिया असेल गुणिले 1000. Like we calculate in percentage about 100. we calculate the percentage in 100. So similarly, in sex ratio, per 1000 males, how many female are there that we consider? And that is called the sex ratio of the country. Now, ऑल ऑफ अस नो, आपल्याला ही माहिती आहे की आपल्याकडे फिमेल इन्फॅन्टिसाइडमध्ये होतं खूप. आता नाही आहे, नाव इट इज नॉट देअर. अर्लियर पीपल डिडंट वॉन्ट ए गर्ल, सो गर्ल्स वेअर किल्ड मध्ये खूप होतं. म्हणजे खूप जुने काळ, म्हणजे इन द मिडिवल पिरियड. त्यांना मुली नको होतं, दे ओनली वॉन्टेड सन. अँड we found that the ratio of the girls have become less. So when for every 1000 male, the number of female is less, the sex ratio is said to be low. And when for every 1000 males, the number of female is high, the sex ratio is said to be high. Now here one graph is given to you. Look at the graph. Haryana, Bihar, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh and Kerala. 5 states are there. Haryana, per 1000 male, 879 females are there. So lowest sex ratio we find in Haryana. Then we have Bihar 918, Maharashtra 930, that is 929. Chhattisgarh is 991, whereas Kerala tops more female than male. So per 1000 male, 1084 female is there. So we see that Kerala has highest sex ratio. Their literacy is 100%, and they prefer more girl child rather than male child. So in this way, we calculate the sex ratio of the country. So if the ratio is less, like in Haryana as it is shown, we find the number of girls are very less in that particular state. More boys are there, less girls are there. But Kerala, girls are more and boys are less. Now, after you study this graph, it is given which state has the highest sex ratio. We can call it as Kerala. The girls are more, मुली जास्त आहेत तिकडे मुलांपेक्षा. And state which has lowest sex ratio, so we can call it as Haryana. हरियाणामध्ये मुलं जास्त आहेत आणि मुली कमी. What changes should take place in Maharashtra to bring about a balanced sex ratio, and how much change is necessary? Now you can see Maharashtra 929 is given. That means here also the sex ratio is less. Means 1000 into 1000 म्हणजे इक्वल झालं असतं. पण नाही जरी झालं तर अजून वाढली पाहिजे. It should be 950, 975, 990. Then we can call it as a balanced sex ratio. So what we should do? महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आपल्याला काय करायला पाहिजे की आपली मुलींची संख्या जास्त वाढेल. That is important that we should not kill the girl child. एखाद्या वेळेस असतात काही ठिकाणी, they don't want a girl, त्यांना मुली नको असतो. ते either they have that sonography test or something, and then if they come to know that there is a girl, then immediately abortion and all is done. So all these things should be stopped. When you go to a clinic, you will see that a sex determination is not done over here. So that is very, very important that changes should be brought in Maharashtra. Not only in Maharashtra, for the entire country, wherever it is, कुठेही असो, फक्त महाराष्ट्रच नव्हे तर पूर्ण भारतामध्ये ही जी आहे मुलींची संख्या वाढली पाहिजे. So a girl should be more. Yes, the number of girls should increase. You must have heard about Savitribai Phule. She is the one woman teacher, the first woman teacher of our country. And if you know the story of Savitribai Phule, then when she started teaching the girls, at that time, people used to abuse her. तिला लोक शिवीगाळ करायची, तिला मारायचं की ती मुलींना शिकवायला जाते म्हणून. But still she continued with her work, and today we the girls, I can call that we are here studying because of her, because of the changes brought in the 18th century. 18व्या शतकात हे सगळं बदल आपल्याकडे आणले आहेत भारतामध्ये. In 18th century, it was brought in India that girls should be given equal rights, girls should go to school, they should study. कारण आपण एक म्हण म्हणून मराठीमध्ये आहे, मुली शिकली प्रगती झाली, अशा प्रत्येक ठिकाणी आपल्याला ते दिसतात. आणि यांचं म्हणणं पण तसं होतं. महात्मा ज्योतिबा फुले, ही सेड, "When a man learns, he learns for himself. But when a female learns, she teaches the whole society." You take your mother, she is a female and she teaches you so many things. She take care of the family. So it is but natural that the number of females should be balanced as per the males. Means both the gender should be equal. म्हणजे दोन्ही जेंडर आपल्याकडे जी आहे, स्त्री आणि पुरुष, ते एकदम समान असली पाहिजे. किंवा एखाद्या वेळेस 10-20 कमी असलं तरी चालेल, पण एवढी जी कमी दिसतात आपल्याला ग्राफमध्ये, तसं व्हायला नको. Should be balanced. In regions where the proportion of female is more than male, predominantly the out-migration of men is high. The out-migration is very often for employment purpose. For example, Kerala. But where the population of female is less than males, in most cases, the birth rate of female is less. So, in some cases, the population out-migration is there. So, Kerala, most of the people from Kerala, they work in abroad. ते फॉरेनमध्ये असतात, कुवेट म्हणा, इराक किंवा असा खाडीच्या देशात. देअरफॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट जास्त असेल म्हणून तिथे गर्ल चाइल्ड जास्त असतात. बट इन केस ऑफ हरियाणा, इफ द फिमेल इज लेस दॅन द बर्थ रेट ऑफ फिमेल इज व्हेरी व्हेरी लेस. म्हणजे तिथे मुलींचा जन्मच होत नाही. मीन्स इट मे बी दॅट गर्ल्स आर नॉट बॉर्न ओव्हर देअर, दे प्रिफर मेल चाइल्ड रादर दॅन गर्ल्स. And therefore the females may be कमी असतात, म्हणजे स्त्रिया कमी असतात. Here in the box it is given, how do imbalanced sex ratio affect the society? What measures can be taken to strike a balance in the sex ratio? So what we can do? जर imbalance असेल तर we know that there are so many reasons. जर मुली कमी असतील तर लग्न होणार नाही, असं काहीतरी भरपूर अशी कारणे असतात. If only male are there, no female is there, then how the society will work? That is also there. So it should be a balanced one. So we should make a balance between the male and the females. So that is one of the these factors. Have a class discussions based on following. How many people in your house are studying? What is their age? How many people in your house are working? How old are they? Do your grandparents still work? What is their age? Now 3 questions are put over here. घरी तुमच्या असतील, किती मुलं तुम्ही शिकतात? Means you and your brother or your younger sister, or maybe 3-4 brothers or sisters are there. So you all are children and studying. Then at home, how many are working people? Maybe both your parents are working, father and mother. Maybe your grandparents also still work. काही ठिकाणी आजी आजोबा असतात ना, ते पण अजून एवढा वयोवृद्ध नाही झाले असतील, त्यांची पण नोकरी असेल, कदाचित ते पण नोकरी करत असतील. प्रत्येकाची एज आपण हे करायचं. मग बघू आता काय. एज स्ट्रक्चर. Now what is age structure? वयोगट प्रमाण ज्याला म्हणतो आपण मराठीमध्ये. In a region, when the population is subdivided as per age group, this is called age structure of the population. Age structure is useful for projection of population and for understanding the dynamics of the age structure arrangement. Similarly, it also helps in understanding the proportion of active and dependent population. This part is very, very important, age structure. आता आपण एज स्ट्रक्चर करताना काय बघतो? 0 to 18. ना 0 to 18 म्हणजे छोट्या बाळापासून ते 18 वयोगटापर्यंत जे असतात ना, ते शिकणारी मुलं असतात. शिकणारे म्हणजे Maybe if at the age of 4 you may be in nursery, then junior, then senior, then first to 10 standard 15 years, then up to 12 standard 17 18. So that is 18. So till 18 you are children. Then comes after 18. So you growing up adult up to 60. Here it is given. And then after 60, that is dependent, you become old. तसं आपण म्हणत नाही की वयोवृद्ध झाले आपण, पण 60 वर्ष म्हणजे 58 वर्षात आपण रिटायर होतो. 60 वर्षापर्यंत लोक कामं करतात. 60 वर्षानंतर they want to have a peaceful life. So that is that 15 to 59. So 0 to 14, 14 वर्षापर्यंत तुम्ही 8वीला आहात आता, 12-13 वर्ष असेल, 14 म्हणजे एखाद्या 10वीला. So in India, the productive population is population between 15 to 59. तर 14 वयोगटापर्यंत आपण कुठेही कामाला जाऊ शकत नाहीये. 14 नंतर लोक जातात, मुलं काही ठिकाणी त्यांना गरज असतील, they may be needy, maybe the parents are not there, they are orphan, ते अनाथ असतील कदाचित, मग त्यांना ते आपला कोणी आधार नसेल तर ते नोकरी करतात. So 15 to 59, that is called working population, and that is called productive population. This group of people is active in service and business. म्हणजे हा जो वयोगट आहे 15 ते 49 59, 15 to 69, so that is active population. म्हणजे हे जे आहेत हे काम करणारी लोक. So 0 to 14 and above 60, all depend on this 15 to 59 population. म्हणजे 0 ते 14 वयोगटापर्यंत आता तुम्ही मुलं आहात, स्टुडंट आहात, मग तुम्ही आता तुमचे पॅरेंट्सवर डिपेंडेंट असणार आहेत. मीन्स यू आर डिपेंडिंग ऑन युअर पॅरेंट्स. Parents are providing you food, clothing, whatever it is, all sorts of education and all. But after you grow up, you will work somewhere. So you will become productive population up to the age of 59. And after 59, you will become old. So you will be active up to 59 age. So they directly participate in the economic activities of a region. In regions where the proportion of this population is more, especially youth, development is rapid. आता जिथे आपली ही जी वयोगट आहे 15 ते 49, if young people are more in a country, then we say the development of the country is very very fast. कारण ते ऊर्जा असतात, एनर्जी असतात त्यांच्यामध्ये कामं करायला. दे कॅन वर्क व्हेरी हार्ड. अँड वेन दे वर्क व्हेरी हार्ड, नॅचरली द डेव्हलपमेंट टेक्स प्लेस व्हेरी व्हेरी फास्ट. म्हणजे त्यांची पण विकास होतात आणि देशाची पण. म्हणजे ते आर्थिक व्यवहारात आपल्या देशासाठी जास्त कामं करतात. सो दे वर्क फॉर द कंट्री, country develops. So if the productive population is more, wherever the productive population is more, then the development of that country takes place. The dependent population fall in two subgroups. People below 15 years of age are totally dependent and productive. People above 60 years also fall in dependent category, but their knowledge and experience make them valuable asset to the whole society. 0 ते 14 म्हणजे बिलो 15, दे आर डिपेंडेंट ॲज यू आर. यू मे बी 12 years 13 years, तुमची वय आता 12-13 वर्ष असेल, तुम्ही पूर्णतः डिपेंडेंट आहात तुमच्या पालकांवर. you're depending on your parents. Similarly, you may be having grandparents who are more than 60. तुमच्याकडे आजी आजोबा असतील, पंजोबा असतील, तर ते 60च्या वयाचं वरती असेल, 60 years, more than 60. They do not work, so they are dependent on this, maybe your parents, your uncle, aunt, whatever. म्हणजे ते तुमचे जे आजी आजोबा असतील ते तुमच्या आई वडील किंवा तुमचे काका काकू त्यांच्यावर डिपेंडेंट आहेत. सो पीपल 0 to 14 and above 60, they are dependent population. But the dependent population of 60 years, म्हणजे ते 60 वर्ष त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त वय असतील, त्यांच्याकडे ज्ञान व अनुभव खूप असतात. दे हॅव द नॉलेज अँड एक्सपिरियन्स. कारण ते आतापर्यंत कामं केली आहेत. आता 60 वर्ष झाले ते रिटायर झाले असतील. पण ती जी कामं केली असेल, दे हॅव वर्कड that knowledge in their field, they have that experience in their field, makes them a valuable asset. म्हणजे त्यांचा जो अनुभव असेल, त्यांचा जो ज्ञान असेल, ते समाजाला उपयुक्त ठरतात. Means it is very helpful to the society. So some people hire, some companies, they hire these people maybe as a consultant. हे जे 60चं जे वय असतात त्यांना हायर करतात काही कंपन्या. कामासाठी नाही, फक्त त्यांचं नॉलेज, त्यांची एक्सपिरियन्स घेण्यासाठी. सो वन वे वी कॅन सी दॅट these above 60 years, though they are dependent, but the knowledge and experience help the entire country. Okay, I think all of you understood till here. Any doubt? Mansi?
No doubt.
No doubt. Nobody else is answering, only you. Karthik is there, Parth is there, Om is there.
They left
Huh?
the meeting.
Okay. And then Hari Om, he also left. Parth is there still, I can see.
Yes. He and Hari Om is there.
Hari Om, why don't you reply? Hari Om, can you hear me? Open the mic and answer. Hari Om. Parth. Parth, reply in the chat box. No answer they give. It's just disgusting. Okay. So today I will stop here, and next lecture, next Friday I will complete the entire lecture. Okay.
Okay, miss.
Okay. Bye everyone. Only 3 are there. So we'll finish up in the next lecture. We will finish up the entire part. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Mansi.